Welcome to Youth Lab. I'm your host, Melvin Harris, and today we're gonna take a walk with the culture. And there's a video. I don't know how many of y'all saw it, but it's basically it is this guy. I don't know. I don't really know his name, so I don't want to be disrespectful or anything. But um, he is doing a spoken word, and it's to me is filled with that hate and being lost. And it's one of those things where I've talked about the culture before. Right, we have a real hard time with moving on, right, and grasping at things. So we're gonna get into the video and just kind of just walk with where he's going with this. All right, let's get into it.
White man does the popular dance, the whoa, while reporting the weather. Comment section reads, Tom definitely invited to the cookout. Another video shows a white man dancing on stage and the caption reads, it's obvious, why Mark is invited to the cookout, where we slide like black lightning across the backyard and turn it into a dance for the cookout, be sacred. But ain't that just like us, inviting everyone into our holy places? Crazy.
Wait a minute, brother. I'm gonna I'm gonna have to stop you there. I don't know. This is one of the dangerous things about being being happy about everything that you hear that supposed to be pro-black, because the cookout is not sacred to me. I care nothing about that. And I don't know what God you serve, or what preferences you have for any of that. Just life in general. I don't know any of that. And I'm not passing judgment on you, because I really don't know. If you're not a Christian, I'm not, or you don't believe in God, then you've made your choice. But this is one of those things where you got to make sure your feelings are in the right place, and your heart, because God searches your heart. That thing. But this is where you have to make sure that you are in the right space when you're listening to things, because instantly this would turn me off of that, saying that the cookout is sacred and we invite people into our holy places. Um, I just talked about Jeremiah, and there's other ones, Amos, uh, Ezekiel, where they you know just coming from a person who has faith, right, and believes in God. They are doing one thing in the temple, and then talking to false guys, or praying to false guys outside. They're doing what they want to, and God says, like, I don't see them. So when you start talking about the cookout be sacred, and we inviting people into our holy places, and we slide across the backyard like lightning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not with that. But in another, form of understanding where I'm coming from, I've been to cookouts where it's been nothing but black people, and we wasn't sliding across the grass like lightning to turn it into a dance floor. We was laying down because they got to shooting. So I really don't like, this is where, like I said, it gets tiring, because for some reason we act like when we all get together, it's just this big unity party, and it's not. Like, there's so much already, just the tone. There's a lot of hate and resentment here. And you're trying to find out, like, where it's coming from, right? When it comes to our people, we will not, we will not have accountability. We don't have any structure or discipline, but we will not have any accountability for our own actions. So I guess for some reason, if the white people come to the cookout, that's when everything gets messed up. No, it's our own people that come to the cookout. But just like the outset of this is something that I'm not with from the beginning, man. We ain't even really got into the whole thing. But yeah, man, we gotta figure something out with this hurt.
Crazy how all you got to do is know how to Dougie to dodge accountability. Wash white privilege out with a whip and a nay-nay, they call it muscle memory. They've been whipping nay-nay for centuries. Crazy how...
You see how hostile he is? They can just not have accountability. As if we can't have accountability. Because I don't think you like, do we truly understand that in Africa, people who look like us was a part of the slave trade? Do you think people just came in there and did what they want? Because I know we do hear a lot of, and this isn't a defense for slavery, but do you not understand that people have an idea that it was just invaded and we didn't put up a fight? Like they came on their boats and the whole continent just gave in. Because that's our idea. We think that there's such unity with us from Africa. That's the idea that we have here in America. Well, it wasn't. They all looked alike. So they wasn't even trying to like, you wasn't from that tribe or that empire. You wasn't a part of who they were. We do that today. That's where we get that from. Of not, what set you claim? Where you from? What hood you from? You ain't from around here, is you? Yeah, that's where we get that from. But saying they've been whipping Nene for centuries, um, I don't, I don't get that part. No one is. I don't. I do believe that guns get flooded into the neighborhood, but I don't think the white man is pulling the trigger. I don't think the white man is telling you to go and steal anything. I do believe demons do that, but I don't get where you're coming from with this because it just seems more so about anger and about trying to have something like you're taking it's childish. It's that playground kid. Like that's my ball. I'll take my ball and go home. You can't play with it, kind of thing. And you want to justify your stance by bringing up that they've been whipping Nene for centuries. And we've been shooting at each other too. Do we have accountability? What you just said that they get to skip past accountability or however you put it. Do we do that? Do we get to do that? Do we get to continue to say, "Oh, we got treated bad, so you know we can," and we get to sulk in our self pity? What do we call it when a black man date a white woman or a white woman date a black man? Is self hate, right? And you're talking about whipping Nene. How often do we talk down on each other? Serena Williams just lost weight. And Serena Williams lost weight because she's an athlete that no longer participates in that sport. So she doesn't have to keep that on her. Her muscles don't have to be that big anymore from running and going through the, I don't want to say trauma, but the strain she has to put on her body just from playing tennis. Running back and forth, stopping on the dime, going back and forth, your feet are messed up. Hydration, training, all of that. She loses weight. Now everybody's saying that's that white man syndrome. That's what happened when you get with a white man. Serena tried to date black men too. What happened? What happens when that black man doesn't get the black girls to like him, and they keep calling him lame. Is he supposed to just keep going at the black woman? Or is he supposed to just find that woman that's going to treat him white? And she might be white. She might be Spanish, one of the Spanish. She might be Native American. She might be something different. Or he may be there for that black woman that when she date black men, he beats on her. I don't know why it's like if you stay inside that white women do it too, white men do it too. They get that from their own, so they go outside of that. And but it's a society where they say love is love, be who you are until it gets to a certain point where other people don't like it. Then I got to stop you there. I got to Dr. Umar you. You got to you hate yourself, brother. Self-hate, you hate yourself, brother. No, you don't. I actually love myself. I would hate myself if I keep doing what you want me to do. And all this stems from him saying they get to skip accountability. There's a lot that we haven't unboxed in our own community to sit here and be upset with somebody because they know a dance.
When we dance, we get called coons. But Brad dances and gets an honorary plate full of ribs. We keep feeding them like they didn't force chitlins down our throats. Keep dancing.
I have to stop you there. Yes, chitlins was given because it was basically the stuff that the slave masters didn't want. We understand that. Yes. No one is forcing that down our throats now. And we're still eating them. So where are you coming from with this anger? Like, you can't keep blaming people for it. We can't keep blaming other people for what we're doing in our community. He get a plate of ribs. Why? And they used to. You're saying that like you just said he got invited to the cookout, so we're giving them the ribs, but for some reason, Brad has come and he's shoving chitlins down our throat at our cookout. Or are you still talking about the slave days? Because it's not. It's one of them walks, man. It's not making any sense. It just sounds like a bunch of anger, and it sounds like you have to find a place to put it, and it's convenient. The woe me thing, the look in his eyes, just it just seems angry, man. But our communities we have some of the bigger percentages of chronic illness inside our communities, and we call it soul food, and it's not soul food. It's a bunch of like we take the greens and we put all of this stuff in it, fat back, hog maw. We put all this stuff in it, bacon fat. You put all of that stuff in it and take the nutrients out of it. So now it's just greasy water with some grass in it. That's it. You got to put all the seasoning in it. So now we got all the salt in it. So now blood pressure is high. Heart disease is running rampant. Let alone going back to Serena Williams. Anybody that lose weight, now you look sick. You need to put some meat on your bones. That's the reason why Uncle Fred died. No one is forcing chitlins down our throat. We're going to buy them. We're cleaning the intestines of a pig, and we're eating it. I'm not, but I am. I love my people, but I'm not. I'm not eating that pig ears and all of that. I'm not eating that stuff. And I haven't had any white person come to me and try to force something down my throat. Are there racist people still out there? Yes, and they are black and white. I've met Spanish people that are racist towards black people. I've met a lot of. I used to work with some black people in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, that was racist, like blatantly racist. So this narrative that you're pushing right now, I just had to stop you because it's a lot, bro. That's a lot. That's a lot here in 2025, and people shared this just like he preaching, He preaching. Preaching what? The same stuff that we talk about all the time. Woe me. Woe me. Oh, we black. We got treated bad. We can't. The reason we shooting each other is because crime is convenient. Well, if we were supposed to be the superior people that the third our brothers keep talking about, then I don't know why we can't stop it. You got to tap in, right? But keep going.
Keep dancing. They shuck and jive their way to acceptance, and it's appalling how easily we forget just because Becky can footwork and Allie makes foo-foo. Invitations for the cookout flying off the shelf in the comments section. Hey, bro, do you remember when we invited one of them to our Bible study? 9 of us were told well done that night. So excuse my caution for Caucasians casually crip walking for convenience.
That's a lot, brother. That's a lot. That's a lot for you to bring into this. You want to bring the pain that other people felt a night when a racist person went and did something racist and killed some people at a Bible study. And I think that I really do think that's unfair. Because people have hate in their heart, and it can look like racism or it can just look like envy. Because, there have been people in the black neighborhood that have been inside of their homes minding their business. And because word on the street is they got a little money in their house, somebody has run in there and gunned down the people in the house just to get the money. I say these things because why do you think we are superior? Why do you think that any of this makes sense? When do we stop with that? We know what happened. This doesn't do anything for our community. It just makes you hate more. Yeah, what happened at that church was horrible. It shouldn't have happened. What also happened at the grocery store when people got gunned down shouldn't have happened. But what happens at cookouts, what happens at little league football games where they get the busting out in public? What happens at nightclubs when they get the busting out in public? What happens in apartment complexes when somebody has a disagreement and they get the busting out there? And then a child that's sitting in there doing their homework get hit with a straight bullet. But nobody in the hood wants to go and tell because then I'd be snitching. But this is your anger has all stemmed from somebody being able to come to the cookout in the comment section. How did you get so angry because somebody said, "Hey, bro, you invited"? How did you get so mad? Why are you accepting them? That sounds so childish. Why are you accepting them? Do you know that the Underground Railroad has some success just because there were white people that put their own lives on the line to help people hide? There were mobs coming. Hey, you got any of them coloreds in here? No, we ain't got nothing here. Let us search it. No, you got to go. You can't search my house. And what they do, go on about their business. And then they kept going. You know what the world is full of? Sin and evil people. We can't keep wearing this hurt, man. We cannot keep wearing this hurt and talking about it's like pride. It's not. It's tiring. And it just makes you angry for no reason.
Lying and line dancing, looking like a fool. The cookout. Man, they used to cook us out over open fires, cut pieces of our flesh off, mason jar our hands, claiming can't nobody catch a beat like him. They watching Soul Train reruns, but won't let us teach their children about the Underground Railroad. So look, since when did dancing erase Jim Crow? Since when did dancing erase school to prison pipeline? Since when did dancing erase redlining? So before you mail out your cookout invitations, remember that they used to think of us as stiff body boogie down chatters. Bible. They used to make us dance across the decks of ships, and some of us leapt to freedom gracefully. The break of the water's surface was a pearly gate, a jetty into the Lord's arms, and the cookout so packed with pale faces, it ain't no room for my grandkids, and I refuse to ask for space in my space.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, they used to hang us in like the middle of the square, and people would come out and look at it like a spectacle. You know what I'm saying? Like that stuff used to happen, but then it didn't. And I understand like the slaves when they were on the ship said that they would rather, die in, I think something like die in the ocean than become a slave or whatever. Um, yeah, that happened. I think a lot of that too had to do with the fact that you've watched people who look like you give you up for material things. Like they gave them up for guns and all of that stuff to try to become. They wanted to build their empires more. I think we have a problem with facing the fact that our ancestors had a part to play in that for personal gain. And if you don't see how that manifests itself in our community now, how we act now in our communities, where you see black people scamming other black people, you see us going to commit fraud everywhere in the banks and all of that, lying with checks, and it's all to get something. You see people, like I said, running up in houses, stealing from people. You see all of it, man, and we do it to each other. I've went to neighborhoods where, um, when I lived in South Florida, I've been to some neighborhoods where when they saw my tag, it was a problem. Luckily, they saw that I was military, but it was a problem. You're not from around here, are you? You lost? We often talk about like sundown towns. I did a lot of travel in the military. We often talk about sundown towns. And what's crazy in our community, we got gun down towns, bro. Like you ain't broad daylight. Montgomery, Alabama, popping. Birmingham, Alabama, going at it. From where I'm from, going at it. Chicago, Miami, wherever, going at it. It's our own communities too. I could see if we were peaceful people in our communities, we didn't do anything, but we uplifted each other. And it's just these people that come in and they wreak havoc and they tear down everything that we built, like they did Black Wall Street, and and they do all of that. But we do it. We are the ones that do that now. And it's you can't be upset about this anymore. We can be upset about where we are now, but something has to be built in a foundational sense to get us over this. It's 2025. We know. We need to create some stickers or some t-shirt that say, yeah, we know. We know. We know you a gangster. We know, bro. But if you gonna be honest about it, what music are we playing at the cookout? What music are we sliding to? Is it music that's talking down on our women? Is it music that's promoting drugs? Is it music that's promoting shooting your brother or your sister that look like you? So while we sliding like lightning and we don't want to invite Brad and Mark now, we sitting there listening to music as we're drinking or smoking or whatever we're doing, as we're partaking in everything that we want to do at this cookout. We're listening to music that's telling us to do something to that person that looks like you. Call them disrespectful names. Every cuss word you can think of. This is where sin comes from, brother. That's what it looks like. Sinful people. There is no unity in our community. So you got to be wary of anybody that you invite to the cookout. Wouldn't you agree?
And the potato salad, and invite me to the country club. Hold the casserole. Let's talk about reparations. Maybe then we could talk about cookouts. Until that happened, all cookout invitations are revoked. Management.
Well, he ended it, but having no room for your grandkids. This is the thing. All you basically said is we have a cookout and we holding that hostage. You don't care. Like, we talking about reparations for us to go and blow the money. PPP loans showed you that. PPP loans showed us that. People blew that money. And they turned their fake business into another way to cheat people. It was fraud on top of fraud on top of fraud. Didn't nobody go and buy land and say, hey, let's start Black Wall Street again. Not saying it was right, because let's be honest, it was just lies. They not supposed to be doing that. But no one took their money and did anything right with it. So you talk about reparations, you talk about a whole lot of Jordans, you talk about a whole lot of Mercedes Benzes, maybe some Altimas. You talk about a whole bunch of mansions that no one's gonna be able to pay the property taxes on it. You're gonna see a whole bunch of Louis, Gucci, Fendi, Prada. We're gonna see a lot of that stuff, but you're not gonna see any progress. Soon as the money is blown, it's back to the same thing. They can give us reparations if we want to. Our mindset is not ready for that, obviously. But I appreciate y'all for being on this walk, man. It was a good one. I'll say that, but honestly, you can always comment and share whatever the way you feel about it. But I don't know, man. We ain't never gonna get over that hump. I've said it before. But until next time, we'll see you on the air.